3 years ago, I experienced one of those rare, genuinely life-changing moments.
Come on, you're nearly there.
385 yards short of the Edinburgh Marathon finish line, I hit the wall.
My legs are totally gone.
Embarrassingly, I collapsed over the finish line in a ball of pure emotion. It was my first ever running race at the age of 40, and I learned so much about myself. Running has since become one of my real passions, which is why, 3 years later, I'm coming back for more. Like all sequels, it's going to be harder, faster. This time, I'm going to be running the Edinburgh Half Marathon. And yes, you heard that right. Half the distance, half the training, half as much effort, half as good as the first film. But sequels are always shit, right? I think we better start at the beginning. 16 months ago, I was probably in the best shape of my life. I'd achieved my long-held running ambition of breaking the 40-minute mark for 10 kilometers. It had taken 2 years to get to this point, and running had become something that was really important to me. This all changed on the 13th of March 2021. After running past Edinburgh Castle, I was approaching Lothian Road when I saw the pedestrian traffic lights in front of me turn to green. Naturally, I accelerated to make the lights, but after leaping off the curb, I landed on my left foot, which buckled, and I ended up putting my full body weight onto my twisted ankle. The result was serious ligament damage. For the whole of the next year, I wasn't able to run and I wasn't able to play football. It was during this time that I became painfully aware of how important running is to me. I just don't feel anywhere near as happy as when I'm able to lace up my shoes and go running outside. But with rehab and strength training, I've been able to build up the strength in my foot again to the point where I was able to start running again a full 12 months after injury. So for me, competing in this year's Edinburgh Half Marathon, if I'm able to do it, will mean so much to me. Far more so than collapsing over the line at the end of my first marathon. I condensed my training into 10 weeks. The first few weeks were a bit of a trial and error to see whether my foot could withstand the gradual build-up in mileage. But I would say it's probably only about 5 weeks ago that I genuinely believed that my foot was okay enough to be able to take part in the half marathon. All of this has now led to me being in the position where I feel like I really want to give this half marathon everything I've got. I've only run one half marathon before, at Loch Rannoch in Perthshire, where I completed it in 1 hour 33 minutes. My next goal is to run a half marathon in under 90 minutes, but I know it's not going to happen this time. This race is all about me just being able to run again and getting to the finish line. Last time I was stood on the start line for a race, months and months of training filled me with confidence. Going into this race, I'm filled with uncertainty. Is this too soon? Is my foot going to survive? What shape am I really in? All will be revealed in the next 13.1 miles.
Here we go, we're off. Feels so good to be doing an event again.
From experience, I was aware that the initial excitement from the start of a race doesn't last. I just needed to make sure that I didn't get carried away with my pace to begin with.
1 kilometre done, 20 to go. New route for the marathon. Not done this road before.
As the route heads down towards the Royal Mile, the initial few kilometres are deceptively easy. It's pretty much all downhill, giving you a slightly skewed impression that it's all going really well.
Perfect conditions. Sun's hidden behind the clouds. Nice and cool. No hint of rain. Absolutely perfect.
Despite these perfect conditions and the opening downhill stretch, I had a niggling feeling in the back of my mind that I was labouring already. This ought to be a gentle introduction to the race. I shouldn't be struggling already.
One of my favourite running routes in Edinburgh. Running past Salisbury Cracks. Feels special today.
And talking to the camera just made things worse. This is not going well.
Thank you.
Right now, the thought of sustaining my pace of 4 minutes 25 seconds per kilometre seems hugely optimistic.
5 kilometres in about 22 minutes. It's about the pace I wanted. Just hope I haven't set off too fast. We'll see.
But I knew in my head that this was true. Less than a quarter into the race, and I'm already acknowledging that I wish I'd done more training.
4 miles done. 9 to go. Coming up for Portobello Beach. Pace is good so far.
Of course, what I meant to say is that my pace is currently unsustainable. But a little trick I learned from my first marathon is to only vocalize positive thoughts. I know that I'm struggling to maintain my pace here, but I'm trying to convince myself otherwise.
Port by the beach, coming up for 5 miles, 8 kilometers, doing good so far.
It was at this point in the race that I realized that I'm really struggling to talk whilst running. And it was also around this point that I realized I still hadn't mastered the art of drinking water from a water bottle whilst running. What I am good at is spilling it down me and smearing it over the lens of my camera.
10k in about 45 minutes. Almost halfway there. Just gotta keep going.
I'm conscious here that my pace is slowing. At mile 7 I start to feel the niggling pain in my left foot which has caused me so much grief over the past year. This is a crucial point in the race. By mile 9 I'm struggling to hold the camera steady, let alone notice the water smears on the lens. My Garmin watch confirms what I already know. My pace is slowing. I'm paying the price for believing I could run the earlier miles quicker. But there's something beautiful about the half marathon distance.
Mile 10, 3 to go. Time to step it up. Come on.
Knowing that there's only 3 miles or 5 kilometers to go suddenly makes everything look far more manageable.
2 miles to go. Just 2 miles. Come on.
My idea of stepping it up realistically means maintaining the same pace. It has dropped to about 4 minutes 50 seconds per kilometer. But if I maintain this speed, my time ought to be respectable.
Thank you.
One last ineffective swig of water and the finish line is in sight.
So close now. Really close. One last effort. Come on.
Every step of my left foot is now producing a throbbing pain, a gentle reminder of what I've gone through over the last 12 months with injury. Yes, this race has probably come too soon for me, and I'm woefully short of the fitness that I thought I had, but I got it done.
My time is about 1 hour 39 minutes, which is far outside what I wanted to achieve, but under the circumstances, it's just really good to be back running again. I guess I've got to be happy with that.
There are 2 universal truths about running. Other than you, nobody cares what time you run. And you get out what you put in. There's no shortcuts to running. If you don't do enough training, you'll get found out. It's a great metaphor for life. And that's what I love about running. I don't run to win, rather to feel strong within myself.
Come on.
And use the time to escape from everything. And whilst the Edinburgh Half Marathon has demonstrated that I'm far away from my personal running goals, the main thing is I'm back. This is a starting point, and I can't wait for more. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I make videos about my own experiences and share the positive things I do to lead a happier life.